songs off key, baby. Feeling like your ear is weak, baby. The band starts to play and you can't find your meat, maybe. You might need some ear training if the big jam feels like a reach, baby. Intervals are sounding obscene, baby. Singing that run since you were a teen, maybe. You might need some ear training. You might need some ear training. You might need some ear training. Oh, ear training. You might need some ear training. If you don't know what the scale is, or what the scale is, wanna harmonize with your friends, I can't say it more plainly. You might need some ear training. I got you, my friend. It is like a muscle you need reps to strengthen. I can't stop to help you if you wanna jump in. Come get some ear training, ah yeah. You might need some ear training. You might need some ear training. Ear training. You might need some ear training. Ear training. You might need some ear training.
All right, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday in the Robin's Nest. And what does that mean? That means that we're working on our ear training today, as if the theme song did not give it away. And, to be honest, I did not set out to create a Robin's Nest ear training theme song, but it just so happens that a song that, I put together to encourage people to train their ears works really well as a theme song. So we might keep that as the Wednesday theme. But anyhow, welcome to the Robin's Nest Live. I am Ashley Robin. I'm very glad to be here with you today. I hope that you're ready to train your ears. Last week, we worked on intervals, and I think that we should do the same thing again today. I'm going to throw some more intervals at you, keep you on your toes, and then I think I'm even going to throw in a bit of a scales exercise as well. I think that will be fun to do. So that's what we're going to work on today. But just in case this is your first time hanging out with me, let me briefly introduce myself. Hi, Rajan. Good to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you was dancing with me. That makes me feel good. We were dancing together. But anyhow, my name's Ashley Robin. I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm also a producer, and I am a musicianship coach. And that last part means that whatever makes you fully the music creator you desire to be, whether that's vocal coaching, songwriting coaching, ear training, or production coaching, I can help you in all four of those areas. I am your girl. I've got 2 degrees in music performance. That's a bachelor's in classical. I've got a master's in jazz. I've been singing seriously. I've been studying music. I've been performing for about 18 years now. And I have been teaching other people about music or how to make music in different contexts, like for colleges, organizations, and of course on a one-to-one basis for about 13 years now. I'm a sign artist. I've worked with other labeled artists. I've sung backgrounds for live television broadcasts. I get called for studio sessions. I get called to run rehearsals. I get called to arrange vocals, all the sort of stuff that I love so very much. And I've had the pleasure of coaching folks that work with people like Pharrell Williams, Lana Del Rey, and Burna Boy. And guess what? Every time you tune into the Robin's Nest Live, I am your coach too. And so the Robin's Nest Live is all about creating a safe space for us to grow together. You and I, we are artists, we are musicians, and we are serious about improving at the craft. And that's what the Robin's Nest Live is all about. So just so you have the schedule, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Mondays, we do warm-ups that promote our vocal health, either that or we do Q&A or we do both. Wednesdays, we do ear training. And on Fridays, we do warm-ups as well, but we focus more on vocal agility. So join me on Friday if you want to be, That's what we do on Fridays. But today, we are going to practice our ear training. We're going to, get some reps in. It's so important. All these little theory things, the language of music theory is so important no matter what kind of artist you are. Not because it makes you a musician or anything like that, but simply because it allows us to communicate with one another. It allows us to figure out, find solutions to things much faster, and just operate confidently within the craft. So that's why we do ear training. Do I do personal training? Yes, I absolutely do. Absolutely, I do. Yeah. If you check out the link in my profile, you'll see a link that says Explore Private Coaching, and that's where you would go ahead and book that. But yeah, absolutely. I do teach private as well. All right. Oh yeah, we didn't do the thing. If you're on, let's see, I'm actually live in 4 places. We're getting fancy. I'm live in 4 places. Today I am live on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm live everywhere, which is very, very interesting. So, wherever you're watching me from, say hello. Say what's up. I would love to say hello back to you. Good morning, Valencia. Good to see you. Great to see ya. Let's see. I'm checking around. Okay. But yeah, when you tune in, say what's up, say hello. I would love to say hello back to you. I'm trying to keep up with all the chats. I think I'll be able to do it. Well, hold on. I feel like Streamlabs has a way to do this. Real quick. 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to get myself together here. So it's only showing YouTube and Facebook for some reason. Okay, we're not worried about Twitch right now. I'm not on Twitch right now, so I don't need that. But, okay. Interesting. Okay, so I could only see YouTube and Facebook in the same place, but I can't see Instagram and TikTok in the same place. Fine, whatever. Hello. Oh, wait, right. We were just talking, but it's really cool that you're watching from Toronto. Okay, so hello to Toronto from New York. That's where I'm from. I've been here all my life. All right, let's do it. Hey, Kay. Good to see ya. Good to see everybody in the place today. All right, let's get into it. We're practicing intervals. So I'm going to throw some intervals at you. And I just want you to tell me in the chat what interval it is, all right? And if you don't know the interval, then that's fine, because you're gonna learn. So if you don't have your intervals memorized, you don't need to be intimidated by today's session. If you don't know the interval, the answer will be revealed, and then you will know the interval. So that's very exciting. Just make sure that you keep track of that stuff, so that you will always remember. All right, let's fade out the talking beats. All right, and then let's get our exercise beats queued up and ready to go, because at the Robin's Nest we have to be locked into the beat. We got to make sure, all right, that we don't do things in a boring way. And I don't think I can do it too loud, because then I get that annoying crackle, which I hate so much. I don't understand why it happens. Maybe if I lower the buffer size. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. Taking your sweet time. That seems to have helped. Okay. It helped a little bit, because there's a crackle again. But anyway, whatever. So here we go. I'm going to throw some intervals at you. I'm going to start easy. Just tell me in the chat what interval I'm playing. Are you ready? Here we go. What interval? What is this called? Okay, 5, 6. Here we go. What's this called? And then the... Okay, one more time. Interval. What is this called? Here we go. flipping around today. But what interval is that? I'm playing it harmonically. Could be a challenge, but if you separate it, arpeggiate it, you will be able to figure out what it's called. Okay? I'm looking in the chat. We are doing an interval test. So throw in the chat. Tell me what interval is playing. If you're just joining me, that's the object of the game right now. Okay? I want to see some answers. What interval is this called? Couple more rounds. I want to give y'all a chance to think about it, because I don't see any answers yet. Okay. I wanted to start off easy. Let me just quickly check the chat. All right, I'm seeing answers. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, great. If you answered that this was a perfect fifth, you are correct. That is the name of that sound, okay? Just in case you're not aware, right, because this might be new information for some of us, there is a name for every distance. Hey, Stan! There is a name for every distance between two notes. It's called an interval. And so what we're doing is we're listening to the distance between the two notes, and we are naming the interval in the chat, all right? Let's do another one. What interval is this? I'm doing them harmonically to add challenge. What's this interval called? Throw it in the chat. One more time. Okay, I'm scanning, looking around for answers. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Do you need me to play it again, y'all? I don't see a lot of answers. Okay, couple more times. This is... What is this interval called? Let me know. Okay. That interval is called, drum roll please. That interval is a minor third. Okay. Body. That is the sound of a minor third. It's like a sad third. It's a sad harmony. Okay, maybe that'll help with remembering. But one of the things you want to make sure that you do, if you've never done this before, you absolutely, when you study your intervals, you want to make sure that you have a reference for every interval. What is a reference? A reference is a song or a melody or just something that happens in nature that helps you to remember what an interval sounds like. So for instance, one of my favorite references for the minor third is Wade in the Water. So you go, Wade in the water, right? That's a good one. Another good one could be, what's the other one? The first two notes of Brahms' Lullaby, right? So you go, lullaby and good night, go to sleep, little baby, right? That's a good one. My favorite one is actually the first two notes of Pure Imagination, right? So if you go, come with me and you'll be That's one of my favorite references for that one. So that's what I mean. So if you have a reference for every interval, it's going to make it way easier for you to remember what they sound like. That way, when you're here in these kinds of situations, being tested, or even when you have to use intervals in the real world, you're going to be able to recognize them. And that's a really great question. What is an interval, and why is it important to know as a singer? Well, all music is made of intervals. Right? So if you want to sing, you do need to know your intervals, because those are literally the building blocks. Those are the building blocks of melodies, of scales, of harmonies, of all the sort of stuff that you want to be able to do. And especially you, High on Melanin, because you're saying that you want to improve your vocal agility, you want to do more runs and stuff like that. You should know your intervals, because they're going to help you know what to do and when to do it over the songs that you're singing. So, yeah, to define the interval, an interval is the name of the distance. It's a distance between two notes. It's like a unit of measurement in sound, right? So, like I said, there are 12 of them. Well, there are 12 main intervals in Western harmony. There are probably different ones depending on the musical culture that you are from. But in Western harmony, there are 12, or at least 12 of them, and it's good to know all of them, because it trains your ear, helps you to be more accurate, among many other things. So that's why you should know your intervals as a singer and as an instrumentalist in general, whatever instrument you play. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Davey. All right. Let's get another interval loaded up and ready to go. All right. Tell me what interval is. I gotta choose it. And let me just say something. I played myself so hard, because I said I want an all black keyboard. That's what I said to myself. I said I want the little mini MIDI controller with the all black keys, because I think it looks so cool. But the downside to it is that the way I have it positioned in my setup, I can't see. I can't see nothing. So that's why it always takes me so long to choose a new interval, because I'm like, where are the notes? Where are the keys? I played myself. I need a new keyboard. Anyway, let's do it. What interval is Which one is this? See, right now I'm playing them harmonically, but you can also play them melodically. Ooh. And you can sing them melodically as well. And again, these are the building blocks of all songs, melodies, harmonies. They come from intervals. Right? But what is this interval called? If you know it, throw it in the chat. I'm looking around. Hello, MB. Good to see ya. I'm seeing answers. TikTok, you're doing great. You're doing great. Keep those answers coming. I want to know if you know the name of the interval. Checking Facebook. Okay. Checking around. Okay, here comes the reveal. That is a minor seventh. If you said minor seventh, you are absolutely correct. It sounds like Pure Imagination, but the second note is higher. Yes, you're a little off. Well, not really. You're not really off, because when you start Come With Me, the distance from the first note and the last note is absolutely a minor seventh, right? But then by the time you get to In a Word, then the distance becomes even bigger. So you got come with me and you'll be in a of keys. But yeah, words. That's a major seventh between and world. But yeah, you were right, Lee. You were correct. It's just you were missing the note in the middle. So that's a great thing to know. When you're singing Pure Imagination, the distance between the first note and the last note of the phrase. So come with me, come me, that's a minor seventh. Yeah, put that in your bank. Put that in your bank for later. Put that in your bank for later. Good one. All right, let's do another one. What are we gonna do? Okay, this one might be easy for some. What interval is this? What's this one called? If it makes you uncomfortable, that's a clue. Seeing answers one more time. All right, cool. Let me check around. Let's check around. So TikTok, y'all have answers. I'm seeing Insta. What's going on, y'all? Y'all not participating? What's going on? You're here, but I don't see any answers. Okay. All right, cool. So if you said tritone, you're correct. If you said diminished fifth, you're also correct. Okay, so that tritone has three names. It's called a tritone, it's called a diminished fifth, and it's also called an augmented fourth. So it just depends on the context, right? So for instance, if you're playing in Lydian mode, the distance between the 1 and the 4 is an augmented fourth. If you're playing in Locrian mode, the distance between the 1 and the 5 is a diminished fifth. But both of those, you could just call them a tritone. Okay, so that's how that works. So it just depends on the context, what you call that sound. It has three names. All right. Let's do two more. But before we do our last two, I want y'all to tell me, like, what are the ear training concepts y'all would like to practice in the coming weeks on Wednesdays? Tell me. Throw some of your ear training curiosities in the chat, and we can make some time to go over those in the coming weeks. Okay? Before we wrap up, let me know, what do y'all want to study? And I'm going to take a moment to write it down as well. So I got my pen and pad. So go ahead, throw it in the chat. And even if you're watching this later, like if you're watching this on YouTube, which, by the way, if you enjoy this ear training session and you want to do it again, or you want to see the other ones that we've done on Wednesdays in the past, YouTube is the place that you want to go. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, or if you go to my YouTube channel, every Robin's Nest live session that we've done is there waiting for you. I leave all the replays up on YouTube. So just so you know. But okay, tell me, what are some things you would like to study in terms of ear training specifically on Wednesdays? We're going to do two more intervals today. But throw me some answers real quick. All right, cool. I actually want to improve my terminology when it comes to intervals. Okay, so you want to keep working on intervals. Okay. And I don't want to mispronounce your name, but it looks like it's Ntokozo. Please correct me if that was wrong. But you want to do, Oh, scales on particular chords. I love that. Scales to sing on particular chords. All right, we can do a little bit of that. We could do a little bit of that. Now, just so you know, we do this sort of stuff. Like, the Robinsons has resources that will train you in all of this stuff a lot faster. So you don't have to wait for me to come on live every Wednesday. Just so you know. Like, this is kind of like my jam. I love teaching ear training. And I have resources available that will help you learn these things on your own time. You could be progressing every day. But I'm very glad that I know what y'all want to practice. So, Kay, you wouldn't mind continuing to practice intervals. We can learn our intervals, because I'm always testing you on intervals, but we can learn the intervals. Okay, and I also have a whole resource that will teach them all to you called the Ear Sharpener Lite. It focuses on intervals if you do that particular subject matter, but we can do that in live, absolutely, step by step. And then scale and chord relationships. I love that. In fact, we're going to do that next week. So thank you. Let's do that next week. Keys, like, you want to talk about keys in the sense of, like, how do you know when you're in a key? How do you hear what key you're in? Or do you want to talk about how keys are built? Like, which keys have what notes? Is that what you mean? The first one or the second one, Lee? I'm sorry. The first one? Okay. So if it's the first one though, Lee, I already do a whole free, a whole free session on this. It's called Better Ear Boot Camp. But the next session is going to be next Wednesday through Friday. I'll do this on live, but I highly recommend that you come join me at the next boot camp session, because every boot camp session I teach how to hear what key you're in, how to follow the number system, the Nashville number system that you hear people talking about, and then how to approach harmonization. So Lee, I think you should totally join me. I think you should totally hop into that. Like I said, the next session it's a 3-day virtual session. It's free, and we start next Wednesday. All right. So head to the link in my profile and sign up, because I think that would be the best way for you to get what you're looking for if you want to talk about keys. But I'm writing it down as well. Okay. Yes, and then you'll be able to see the session times. There's 2 session times. There's a 1 p.m. and there's a 7 p.m. Eastern. So you can choose which one you want to come to so you don't miss it. Okay. All right, y'all. 2 more intervals. 2 more intervals, and then we are going to go enjoy our Wednesday. I mean, I'm already enjoying my Wednesday. I like being on here with you. But we got 2 more intervals. Here we go. What interval is this one? What is this called? Tell me the name of this sound in the chat. Okay, looking around for answers. Okay, as a creative writer, I'm interested in intervals. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great reason. But what interval is this one? Let me know. Couple more times, and then I'm going to tell you the answer. Okay, this interval is a major second. A major second. Very close together. All right, you see that? All right, and that's why it's so important to study your intervals, because when you study your intervals, you're going to be able to feel how close they are and how wide they are, because again, an interval is it's a unit of measurement, basically. It's telling you how far away two notes are. Okay, so that's why it's so important to know your intervals. Then you'll be able to feel, okay, that sounds really close together, so it's got to be some kind of second. Okay, so that was what that was. That's a major second. Right? And one of my favorite ways to remember a major second is that it's the first two notes of any not any scale, but it's the first two notes of the major scale. Right? So if I'm singing my major scale, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, do, re. Okay? So do, re is a major second. So that'll help you hear it in the future. All right, last one, y'all. Last one. What should it be? Last one. I don't know. Last one. What should it be? Last one. All right, fine. What is this? What's this called? What's the interval called? Sock it to me in the chat. All right, let me check around. Let's check around for answers. What did you guess? 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 All right, if you guessed, well, we don't guess around here. We take, we make educated inferences. But that was a major seventh. Okay, so what did I play? I think I played a right. And if you were listening, I was kind of taking a moment to demonstrate another one of the benefits of knowing your intervals as a vocalist. It gives you inspiration. It can inspire. As you're working on your intervals, you will be so inspired to create melodies that start in ways that you never really even considered without studying your intervals. You might be stuck in a rut where it's like you keep writing the same melody over and over again because you're not sure of all the possibilities. But when you stretch yourself by learning your intervals, you're going to open up doorways of inspiration for yourself that you didn't even know were there, right? So you're going to learn about yourself too. I learned through studying that one of my favorite intervals, in fact, is the major seven. I love major sevens. Right? They're so pretty. And when you start a melody with a major seven, it's like, you can't go wrong, in my humble opinion. Right? I also discovered that I really love minor sixths. I feel like a descending minor sixth is like gold, in my humble opinion. But that's something I only know because I've, just sat with the intervals and asked questions about the music that I listen to. Right? And so many benefits to learning your intervals as a vocalist, as a songwriter. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about making sure that you know that. I think as artists, as independent artists, especially, we just kind of go with whatever we think. And we don't always make it a point to really study the language. It's like we're kind of, and I know this is not unique to independent artistry. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I feel like, and I think I grew out of this mentality myself. But it's like if you don't study the craft, you're pretty much just relying on like vibes, and everything that you do is kind of by accident. It's like you stumble across everything and you don't really know what it is that you're doing. And so then when it comes time to repeat it or explain it or, apply it in a way that is going to be helpful across the board to other people, you don't even know really what the ingredients are of what you did. Right? So training your ear, learning music theory. I'm not even talking about complex music theory. Just knowing your basics is a huge, 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 huge benefit to any artist, any person who is looking to have music be their career. But even if you just enjoy music, even if music is just a hobby for you, I think what's the word I'm looking for? You'll move musically a lot more efficiently the more that you know, the more that you understand about it. I think that's really my point, right? And so there's much to understand about music, but it's not impossible and doesn't take forever either. You just have to do it. You just have to start to investigate, start to grow, start to learn, start to pursue the knowledge and the understanding. And that's what the Robin's Nest is here for. So if you'd like to grow in your understanding of music, let me know, because the Robin's Nest has so many resources that you can use to your advantage. Okay, I've got the Ear Sharpener, which is a big all-inclusive resource. It'll teach you everything from how to hear keys all the way to, take you through your intervals. Just like we practiced today, you're going to know all your intervals. You're going to be able to recognize them, and you're going to be able to use them. It's going to teach you your scales. It's going to teach you important chords and how they're built, and how to harmonize as well, and also how to follow chord progression. So it teaches all of that. Then if you wanted to just say you're fine in certain areas but not in others, I've got the Ear Sharpener Lite, which breaks each of those lessons into smaller pieces, so that, say, if you just want to learn your intervals with me, you can just do intervals. Okay, so you can do the Ear Sharpener Lite. I've got Modes Workshop for those of you who enjoy my content on the modes of the major scale and those funky harmonies and those crazy sounds that I like to play with. And then I'm really, really passionate about helping other people learn as I learn and as I grow. I have a whole system that will teach you how each of those modes work, and you can also do Modes Workshop Lite. So if you only want to do one mode, you can do that. All right. It's all available in the link in my description. And then I also have Scale Benders. Scale Benders is a really fun collection of exercises that will help you with your intonation. It'll help you really master the differences between major and minor as a feeling and as the scales. And yeah, it's going to improve your ear. I think it'll be inspirational for you as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a real help to your singing also, because it really takes a lot of attention to detail and a lot of attention to accuracy when you do the exercises that are in Scale Benders. So Scale Benders Volume 1 is available also. So everything that I'm talking about is in my description on YouTube. It's in my profile link on Instagram and TikTok. So check it out. If you'd like to grow with the Robin's Nest, you absolutely can. There's nothing stopping you. All right, y'all. Is everybody okay? Everybody good? Anybody have any questions? Any thoughts that they would like to share before I go? Let me know. If not, I'm just checking everywhere. No problem. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. So, if there's nothing else y'all want to say in the chat, I'm going to skedaddle, but I think we had a really productive interval session today. I will be back on Friday where we are going to focus on exercises that promote our vocal agility. So we are growing at our agility in the nest, and I hope you'll come along for the ride. So Friday at about noon, I'll be here, and that's what we'll be studying. And so until then, I've been Ashley Robin. This has been the Robin's